The Sig Sauer 2022 has been issued all around the world. It's in service with the French military and police, Bulgaria, Colombia, Iraq, Malaysia, Peru, Portugal, and Switzerland, and even some parts of the U.S. military and customs use it as well. First shot, double action. Right here you can see how combat accurate the pistol is by looking at the target's head. This is at 7 yards. I do think that some of the claims of a pistol with a higher bore axis being more flippy or more harder to control recoil on follow-up shots, I do believe this is false. As you can see in these next couple frames here, I do triple taps and quadruple taps, and you hardly see any muzzle rise. First shots in double action. Observe this 6-round burst here. The name Sig Sauer is known around the world as being some of the most reliable, dependable, and most proven track record firearms that there is. Our U.S. Navy SEALs use the P226 and some other 200 series pistols, and they are adored by them. The Sig Sauer SP2022 shoots very well. With the lightweight polymer frame and the way that it's designed, it really absorbs recoil well. Great follow-up shots. It's very accurate. The double action to single action trigger pull is very smooth with a nice audible reset. This would make a great nightstand gun, vehicle gun, stash gun, backpack gun, or even a great gun for a female shooter. Hey YouTube, it's Andy. Today I'm bringing you the Sig Sauer SP2022 chambered in 9mm. This pistol is amazing, guys. It's Sig's first polymer pistol. It's a great budget blue collar black polymer option for around $400. It's double action to single action, just like the P226 in the Sig line 200 series. It comes standard with 2 magazines. However, I did buy a third one. And it comes with the decocker right here, just like the 226. It's a little bit different, a little bit shorter, and it does protrude more than the 226. The slide release is up here, which is kind of in a weird spot to some. This is kind of the spot where the safety would be on a 1911. As you go up, you kind of feel it. When you do have a thumbs forward grip, it's easy to hold down and not let the slide stop actually catch it. And so sometimes when you get to the last round, it doesn't hold the slide open for some people, but I actually keep my thumbs down as opposed to up like some shooters. The trigger this is in single action. This is 5 pounds here. And it's very smooth. The reset, it does kind of have a double reset here that some people do complain about. Listen. See, so it kind of has 2 clicks. However, it is a short reset because it's only 2. There. It's tactile and audible. The double action trigger pull is very smooth. It's 10 pounds, very consistent. It does feel a little bit spongy, but there's no stacking. It's the same smooth all the way through. The hand grip of the SP2022 is very good. I like it very much. It's just the black sand. It's like a laser stippled. It feels like sandpaper. It feels very abrasive as you rub your fingers across it, but when it's in your hand, it actually just like becomes one with your hand as far as being just a great grip. Like, it's not abrasive. It feels perfect. And I like how there's these little ribs. It does allow for a very good purchase on it. The magazines do extend the grip somewhat there. And so it's just perfect. I feel like this ledge, I like that on my pistols, especially like my HKs and stuff. If it's getting ready to fall, you know, you can kind of grab it a little bit. And also, the magazines are very high quality. They have this nitron coating on it that makes stuff slide right off of it, like sand, blood and guts, whatever. Water just rolls right off of it. And these mags do hold 15 rounds. They're very high quality. The third one that I had purchased was around $42, I do believe. Rubber butt pad actually protects it as it bounces off the ground. The grip does have a spot for a lanyard loop, and the pistol does come with a replaceable back strap, although I could not tell the size difference. I changed them both out, and it's almost like they gave me the same size one. I have always been a big fan of the squared off trigger guard on my pistols, and as you can see, there is enough room for a gloved hand, even without the hammer being back and in single action. I do like how the trigger guard has the serrations on there, because I do actually like to wrap my finger around there as I'm shooting. It is complete with a Picatinny 1913 style rail. It's great for lights, lasers, and any other accessories. The pistol is technically capable of muzzle touch off just because it is flat right here, and if you push in the middle right here, you can still fire it. However, I guess if you push it up high up here, you know, it won't allow you to, but I technically consider it muzzle touch off capable. Now the slide is a nitron coated stainless steel slide, and with this coating, like I said, it's kind of like an anti-abrasive coating where stuff will slide right off. If it's muddy, you can just like shake it off, and mud and sand and stuff will slide right off. I know that at least the bottom frames are manufactured here in the USA in New Hampshire. I do like this interchangeable, you can change it to the other side, mag release. It works very well. I like how it's triangular and it's serrated, and it does eject the mags out pretty well. You can see it springs it out of there pretty decently. It is somewhat, actually it's not really beveled, but you can see right here how these kind of guide it, the mag in there pretty well. A nice safety feature of this pistol is the loaded chamber indicator, which does protrude a little bit whenever you put a round in there. When you chamber a round, you can see how now it's raised up a little bit, and you can feel that if it's in your drawer and you pull it out of your drawer and you're in the dark, you can just reach over and feel that it's loaded. Let's get that round out of there. It does have a really nice extractor as well, and it reminds me of like a Glock. The sights on the SP2022 are a 3-dot combat sight, and Sig also does make night sights for this model. And I believe it's like about $50 more, but these are just painted. When I first saw this pistol, I was immediately drawn to it. It was pretty much an emotional purchase. I just thought that the way that the lines, the way that it looks, just the overall design is very sexy, sleek, and lightweight. And I just knew I had to have it. The fact that the grip angle is very straight up and down. I want to say it's like 14 degrees or so, but it's way better than a Glock's. It makes it very pointable, and a way that you should train with your handguns is you square up to the target. As soon as you draw it, the very first shot is basically going to be your first shot in real life. So the way that this pistol is meant to be carried is you shove a mag in, chamber the first round, then you use this to decock the hammer for a long double action trigger pull. So as you draw it out of your holster, you just focus on the front sight and you do a long but smooth double action pull, and then all the subsequent shots are going to be in single action that's much lighter. You go from a 10-pound pull to a 5-pound pull. The best way to disassemble this pistol is first make sure that there's no mag and that the chamber is clear. Then what I do is I pull the slide all the way back but engage the slide stop to hold it open. Now see how the ridge is somewhat close there? you just let it off ever so slightly, and then from the other side you actually push this pin, then you pop that pin all the way out, then you just pull it out. The slide and barrel come off the rails here. This polymer frame is very light. It's almost as light as a Glock. The entire pistol only weighs 25 ounces unloaded. And you can see it has just little nubs here that hold the slide onto the rails, and back here. It's very easy to clean and very easy to oil. Easy to take apart. This recoil spring assembly is part of the barrel. Right here, this actually absorbs some of the recoil right here. As the pin, as it slides back and hits there, actually the metal absorbs some of the recoil, and I love that design. It's reminiscent of the USPs that have the center takedown pin.
This recoil spring assembly is non-captured, so you have to be careful. It could go flying across the room.
The barrel, see the nub right there, actually connects into a little nub on the barrel. So you got to make sure those line up when you put it back together. Now this is a polymer guide rod, and I believe this spring is 17 pounds. The barrel is a stainless steel nitron coated barrel. I don't believe that they use cold hammer forging. Sig does. I think they only use it on a couple models. However, whatever they do, I mean, it's at least drop hammer forged. It's a very good design, and you can see the rifling is very good. This is a 4-inch barrel approximately, so this gun is around the same size as a Glock 19. Very accurate. The slide, as I said before, is a stainless steel nitron coated slide, and it's done very well. Sig is known for their machining quality and tooling. They have some of the best state-of-the-art factories in the industry. I wanted to mention that the feed ramp on this barrel is excellent. It's got a lot of real estate there. It's wide mouth, and also the barrel is crowned very well, in case if you were to hit it up against something and the end of it gets chipped, it won't throw off the accuracy. The lockup is also very tight. Sorry guys, but this may be hard to show on this stationary camera, but this is how you reassemble it. You take the spring, and it doesn't matter which way you put it on the guide rod, it's the same. Drop the barrel back into the slide. Then you want to make sure you push but you got to make sure that this nub on the guide rod goes back into the nub in the barrel, the hole for it. And you got to be careful, guys, because this thing could go flying across the room, but there it goes, it's snapped in there. Make mention how this hammer drop works. So see how the hammer's back? It all has to do with this little metal piece right here. So as I use the hammer drop right here, it moves out of the way. Now, if I pull the trigger, it moves the other way for the hammer block to be engaged. So putting the slide back on, you just put it on the guide rails here, and it's easier if you push the hammer back like that. Get it all the way back. You have to make sure, as this slide goes back, that the barrel stays up front like that. And you want to pull the slide as far back as you can and perfectly align the notch. So here's the slide stop pin here.
So if you're thinking about purchasing this pistol, just go ahead and do it. You will not be disappointed. Thanks guys. Make sure to like and subscribe.